Hey everyone, this is Vicki at Messy Table Studio here with a before, and then we'll work on the after. I'm sorry I haven't been around. I've been very busy with Artomat. I decided this year that I wanted to make it my business, and I'm going to need to go start, I guess, the beginning of January whenever the courthouse where I live is open to apply for a business license. So I'm trying to balance things, and I'm not doing a very good job at it, between Artomat and then making videos because I'm interested in a certain subject at that moment. So we'll see how this goes. I'm not really sure how this is going to work, but I'm going to give it a try. All right, so in my efforts to up my game for Artomat, to make my little mini books look better, I decided to make them larger in the box if it is cost effective. I'm not really sure how this is going to work out, but I'm going to show you the beginning of the project. I have very thin chipboard. I think that it's called light chipboard that I purchased off of Amazon, and it comes in a 12 by 12 square. It's rather large, and I cut it down. Or actually, these are, yeah, I used a whole piece on this because I knew I had to make varying sizes, and some of them I didn't have scraps to make the books with. Because usually the mini books that I make for Artomat are like, you know, that size there. They're this small. But I thought maybe I would like to make a larger book. So I was playing around with sizes, and I started out with this size. I think this is this a 3 by 3? I don't remember. I made these over a month ago, and I'm not quite sure what size it is. I think it's a 3 by 3. 'Tis 3 by 3. All right, so I made a 3 by 3 with a rigid spine, and I have enough in there to do, I have holes poked in here already for 2 signatures. This will not fit in the box for Artomat, but I was playing around with, you know, sizes and what I liked. Then I did some others, but sadly, they are not even. I look at them, I was going to use them this morning, I'm like, no. As you can see, it's not even. So this one and this one will be recut, and they will be recovered, because once you cut these, you can't hide the fact that you cut it. So I'll probably make these mini Coptics, because that way I don't have to replace the spine. All I have to do is just take a piece of paper and cover the ends there. Or I could take some kind of a marker. These are only for me. These were experiments. And I tried this one with no rigid spine, where it bends to whatever is in there. And again, for some reason, it is not even. You can see that gap there. So I cannot use these anywhere on my Etsy store or anything, because they're not good. So I'm going to take these, set them aside. Now, I have no paper for the signatures yet. I just got out these 2 and realized they're not the right size. This is all my artwork. I didn't use anybody else's stuff. So here we go. That's my stuff. So I'm going to take my paper cutter, which is right here, and see if I can get it to go through these. I don't want to use the other one, because when you use up blades, those boogers are expensive. So I need to figure out how to make this straight and proper. So the first thing I'm going to do is find out where this is. Well, maybe I should cut it all at once. I don't know if the paper cutter can take this or not. So this is supposed to be a 3 by 3. But well, you probably can't see it. It hangs out here. So I probably will make it a 2.5 and line it up with the line here and pray it comes out right. All right. There's my 2.5. Ooh, it looks much better. But, well, yeah, maybe. No, still, it's not. I don't know what happened here, but I did something terribly wrong. See, it's not straight. Again, I have this gap here, and that should not be there. Your books should be the same width and length, and I did it on the paper cutter, but maybe what I used this for was not straight. So we'll go back. Let's see, I cut that off, so that should be the straight line. And then let me use this at, I'm going to maybe I'll do a 2" by 2". Let's see, I can't do 2.5 because, see, it's more up here. Well, maybe I could. Let me line this up a little bit better. 2.5. There we go. I wonder if this will work. I don't know. No, because this is still lacking on the edge. So I'll have to whack it down to maybe 2.25. I'll do, wait, is this the cut in? Yes, 2.25. Whoops, let's not play around here. Let's make it even. I'll do 2.25. Come on, you beast, go! I think my alignment is off on my guillotine. All right. So this looks really rough. It doesn't look very good. So we have an acrylic nail emery board where you can use this on paper. You can use sandpaper, anything like that. All right, this should be, ta-da, it's the same. So it was my other edge that was off. So only thing I need to redo on this one is just recover it. I'm not going to make it into a 3-piece. I'm going to leave, maybe not. I think I might cover or take a piece of this. Let's see if I can do that. I'm trying not to do any more than I absolutely have to fix this problem. I think what I will do is I will cut this at 2.25. Nope. Let's see first. Don't do that. Let's not screw this up again. 2.25. Yeah, 2.25. I may just make it a hair smaller. All right, so which end do we like? Let's do this. Let me do the bright color end so I can see it when I... Oh, and it's not straight. So let's do this one. 2.25. There we go. That looks much nicer. And I think maybe what I can do is, because I can feel where the board is. And if I was going to make it a flat back, this is the way I would do it, which is what I'm doing now. And then it'll give me a little wiggle room. Okay, come on. All right, I'm going to glue it on here. Ordinarily, I would recover this, but since it's just for me, it's only one cut edge, and I really could care less about that right now. I'm just trying to figure out how to fix a mistake. The only way I learn how to make better books is to keep making books. The same with painters. The only way they know how to make a great painting is to paint, paint, paint. What is that? Practice makes perfect? I don't know if it makes perfect, but it makes better. Alrighty, so let's see. What do we have here? We have this, and then we're going to glue this in here as best we can down the middle. And then when I do this, hopefully this thing will stay. It will give me a small ridge right here to open the book, like this. So you'll have that little ridge right there, and then you can open the book like that, see? All right, so that's that. So that's fixed pretty much, and I'll take a Posca marker or some kind of marker and kind of color it, or I'll take ink and, you know, around the edges to disguise the fact that it is paper on one side. Is it paper? Oh, no. I cut on both ends. Okay, so it looks bad on both sides. So now we'll take ink. We'll ink the edges. Where is my thing here? This will have to be the front because when I put it in there, I did not center it very well. Well, let us take it off and try again. Okay. This is do as I say, not as I am showing. Okay. let's find the center here, the center here. There it is. I want to make sure I have enough on this end to do it on this end. So when I open the book on both sides, it should have that, yeah, it should have that dimple. Let me reinforce this idea with a bone folder. Just run it along the edge of where the chipboard is, and that will create a channel. And I don't know how even it'll be. We'll see. Once I do that. Not bad. Okay, so that fixed that. So now I have enough to do one, maybe two very thin signatures. And then this should open pretty well that way. And then this should open pretty well that way. And that should make my divot for opening and closing more defined when you run the bone folder over it. Although I think this thing is not cut as accurately as it could be, but good enough for now so I can learn something from my mistake. All right, so I'm going to make this the front. Oh, I can't because, see, I was trying to get rid of this little line on the print here, and it's got it on two different sides, so I guess it doesn't really matter. So there we go. So I fixed that one. So that is usable for me. This one has the exact same problem. So I must have cut them one right after the other and made the same mistake twice. But this time, I'm going to fix it by finding the edge here. Where is it? Right here. I'm going to cut that so that I can use it some other way. This one probably will be a Coptic or some other kind of stitch. And then I'm going to cut this part out on this side. You can kind of tell where the ridge is. All right. Let's try this way. Nope, still cut very uneven. It doesn't matter which way I turn it, it's not right. Look at this. The width is either off or the height, or maybe both. It doesn't really matter. So, since this is a learning thing, I'm going to take these two and I'm going to clamp them together. This is how to salvage a book. I think of these as more as templates than I do actual things to make money off of, which is fine with me because that wasn't the purpose of this. It was just to show that sometimes you can fix a mistake, other times it's just, you just can't. You're going to have to totally wreck the book in order to fix it or make it into something else, which I've done to plenty of books in the past while I was learning in the beginning. All right, so there's a lip on the bottom piece. And I'm just going to cut the lip off. There's the paper. That looks much nicer and neater. And there again, there is a lip over here, so I'm also going to cut that off. I will have to recover this because that's just a little too much for me. There's the paper off the lip. And then there's the rest of it. So now this is the same on both height and width. And then when I recover this, I will use a piece of scrap chipboard after I recover these. And I'll use a piece of scrap chipboard and tape it onto here so that I can make it, you know, a 3-piece book it's going to require more work than the other one, which requires almost nothing right now. So I'm going to recover this and start basically over with it. This is fine because no one else, this is not up for sale or anything. This is just me trying to teach myself and anyone else who's got problems with keeping things even how to recover from a screw up so that you don't lose revenue, or you're trying to make something for yourself and you want it to be perfect. Now, I don't have to do perfect. Plenty of times I've shown on the video that I don't do perfect. I try, which frustrates me. So I've given up on certain times that, you know, you just have to know when to fold and you're done. All right, so the one thing I want to stress to people that was stressed to me a million times, and I finally got it, is whenever I do a piece of art, like I do it on a lot of stuff on 8.5 by 11 and smaller. So what I do is I scan my artwork and save it in a folder, and I label what I call these. This is multi polka dot paper. And then I run it off on the printer so that I'm not using scraps to piecemeal this together. I want fresh paper for this. Some stuff you can piecemeal. This I did not. Let's see. I was going to show you something else, another little book that I have, but I thought it was on my desk. Maybe not. Okay. Let me look for this little book and I'll show you what what I did for Carved December that I'm still working on. Okay, I found it. It was right here on the desk underneath the stamp pad. This was a little book that I made earlier this year, and I didn't want to make a big, huge book like I've done in the past for Carved December. So I decided to use something I already had made. What a novel concept. And this is it. Now, I don't have it finished. I'm not going to show you the contents, but I just want to say that when you photocopy your prints, save your artwork so that you can use it over and over, especially if you're a bookmaker, because you can cover your books with your own artwork and not use other people's rubber stamps, other people's stuff. There's no trademark issue on your own art as long as it is your own art. So this is my little Carved December book. I've got to tear it apart because I realized after I started and I started numbering the pages, I don't have enough pages in here to do the whole 25 days. Imagine that. So I will cut this off and I will cut smaller pieces for this and add them to the book so that I can finish the whole 25 days. And I'm already like 10 days late, but I've been busy. So I will do a video where I do a flip through this real quick just to show you how I arrived at everything that I did. See, I still have things in waiting in the background to do some more stuff. And I'm going to have to dig through old rubber to see if I can find more pieces to carve, because this is the last, I think, of the 24 circles that my niece Anne sent to me one year for Christmas, which I just thought was such a cool idea. Now this thing here came with some flat round ones. I might carve on those and see how that goes. I've never used such thin stuff to carve on. So it may be very simplistic designs. I don't know. And I don't do anything complicated because I just don't have the skill level. Although, like making mini books and fixing them, if I did it more often, I might be better. Nah. Okay. So what I will do is I will cut this off and I will make the signatures for these books and come back and show you the fixed book. And then that'll be it, I think. Yeah, that'll be it. So I will see you guys in the next portion of the video. Okay, so I filmed this part twice. This will be, this will be the second time. Because when I was editing the video, I realized that when I was reading something to you, my receipt from Joann's, that my credit card information was on there. So I cut my receipt in half and cut the credit card information off of here so I could tell you what I had to tell you. So Becky McCauley from Aunt Beck's Creations was saying something about there being a sale at Joann's. I don't know, it was last week. I guess it was last week. I got this stuff on the 24th of December, so we went early in the morning. I made my purchases. We went out to eat Mexican food, and then we came right back home. We didn't really do anything else after that because we knew Christmas was coming and stuff would start shutting down, so we went ahead and made a quick trip. The reason I bought all this is because of the Hirschner's catalog. I had been thumbing through the Hirschner's catalog and saw that they had the Aunt Lydia's number 10 cotton thread on there, and their thread was $3.99 a ball. And I had to, I think it had to be $50 or more to get free shipping. And I thought, well, at 5, 10, 15, 25, 35, 45, and then I have a white, that would make my 50, and I could get free shipping. And I thought, well, I really need yarn, and I want it now. I don't want it whenever Hirschner's gets around to, catching up on our orders for Christmas. So I said, let's go to Joann's. So we went to Waco to Joann's, and while I was in there, I wasn't paying much attention. I got down to the aisle where the thread was. They had moved it from the back of the store into like more the knitting area, and sure enough, there were these balls of the Aunt Lydia's number 10 cotton thread, and their price on the shelf was $4.99. So that's $1 more than Hirschner. So it was $3.99 at Hirschner's and $4.99 at Joann's. I thought, well, I don't want to wait, and I will just go ahead and get it here because I need to buy 3 skeins of yarn to finish a project. I got to looking at stuff, and I saw a lot of stuff down in that aisle was on sale, but I didn't realize these guys were on sale. But I gathered up, I think I bought 10 of these because there's a white in the closet. And so it wasn't the smartest thing I ever did at the moment. And I put them all in the cart, got my 3 skeins of yarn, and we left. No waiting in line. Becky said that usually the week of Christmas or somewhere around there that it's really dead. She wasn't kidding. It was dead, and the place was pilfered. It looked like a plague of locusts had carried off every skein of yarn. It was crazy in there, and it was kind of messy, and they were doing their best to clean it up, but boy, oh boy, they were going to need more than a couple days to get that cleaned up. Plus, they needed to restock because they had such a big sale on yarn. The place was just, there was shelves that were completely empty of things. And I looked at the tags, what they were, but I'm like, well, it doesn't really matter. I can't see it, so I can't, I can't see it in my head what it was because I don't always go there to buy yarn. Anyway, so I ended up, because there was a 20% off sale, and I did not know it applied to this, their price was $4.99 for each one of these, and I got them for $3.22. So that still beat Hirschner's $3.99. So these were $3.22 a piece, and then I got some yarn that was, I think it says $6.49. I got it for $2.25. Another kind of yarn, I got two of the same kind for $2.25 each, and I got the 1 pound. Was it 1 pound? Let's see. It says Snow White. What is this? Maybe 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I'm sorry. I got 3 of the small white yarns. Living Snow White, which was 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, 3. Jeez. I got 3 at $2.25 each, and then I got the 1 pound of white from Lion Brand, and I got it for $7.25, regularly $11.99. Then I had to buy 2 things of paint. Oh, and they were on sale. So everything on this receipt I got on sale. So then this was 90. They were regular price $1.19. I got it for 96 each. So my total came to $41.66, paid all the 10,000 taxes, so my total was $45.10. And then I had the app on my phone, and I said, I know there's coupons on here that I can apply on top of the sale stuff. So the girl looked at the app, scrolled through it, found the right coupon, and I got 10 more dollars off of my stuff. So I was very happy. It says $10 off of 50. So I was really happy that we went. So on this other part of the receipt that I cut apart, let me look at it right there. It says here, oh, did I cut the wrong part off? No. It says here, by buying everything on sale that I bought, I saved $32.10. Now, let's face it. Would I have gone to spend 80 some odd dollars with nothing on sale at Joann's? No. I only shop their sales if I can only shop the sales. So these are $3.22 a piece, and then I got 4 skeins of yarn at a discount, and I got my paint as a discount, so I was very happy with my overall purchase. Which leads me to the reason why I did all of this. I buy this because I sew books with it. I like the cotton thread. It's very strong, and I love Line Co. They do a lot of bookbinding things, like linen thread and webbing and all kinds of stuff you need for bookbinding. But, you know, it is a little on the pricey side. So I've used this in the past, and I liked it. So my books are for novelty reasons. They don't need to be acid free. They don't need to be this, that, and the other. So I use the cotton. This will last like 10,000 lifetimes. So we'll see how it goes. So I got mauve, aqua, black. What do they really call this one? Red. This one's called Victory Red. Then I got pumpkin, ecru. What was this one? I can't remember. Sweet pea? No. What is this? Wasabi. And this is golden yellow. And then I have a white somewhere else in here. So I have all the colors that I'm using right here on hand. And now I don't have to buy anything else for binding my books because I've got enough for, you know, 1 million books. So that's it. Now we're going to go back to the regularly scheduled part of this video after I rambled on about Joann's. Anyway, it's best to shop the sale and then have the clerk tell you if there's any coupons that you can apply on top of your sale stuff. Sometimes there is, sometimes there isn't, or sometimes you can get a $10 off on $50, whether the stuff's on sale or not. So I was very happy that that young lady knew enough about her job that I got another, I got 20% off of everything, and then I got $10 off overall of the total of my purchase. So it still was cheaper to do this and drive an hour to Waco and back with the cost of gas than it was to order from Hirschner's through the mail. So sometimes you've got to do the math in your head a little bit to see what you can come up with. This was just a lark. You know, this was on chance that I found it on sale. I never expected to. I thought the 20% off applied to fiber yarn, not cotton thread. So that was a nice surprise. I had expected to pay $50 or more, but it turned out really well. So there you go. All right, on to the next part of the video. Sorry. Okay, so what started all of this was books that I had made from forms, templates, and I wanted to fix them because they didn't turn out very well. So let me tell you about this one. I did finish it. I have signatures in it. I made it a hard spine, and it's a 3-hole pamphlet stitch with 3 signatures. Nothing to write home about, just something small, quick, pretty easy. I had to tear some of the paper off of this one, and there's that. The next one is this one. This one is 3-hole pamphlet stitch with 1 little tiny signature in it, because I didn't think if I put anything bulky in it that it would be able to stand a second signature without, you know, opening more wide than this, but fine, I got over. So I did fix this one, put pages in it. The last, there's one other that I had that I wanted to use, but it ended up getting torn apart because I was trying to rip off some of the cover. And when I did, it split the chipboard in half and it peeled the chipboard layers off. And then it was so flexible. I was like, you know what? I can't fix this. I'm just going to toss it in the trash. So we're -1. There was one casualty. But this one, I did manage to resurrect. I did have to recover it. I decided I wasn't going to use ink on the edges and stuff, so I did recover it. But in the process of recovering this, I learned a new way to stitch. It's not a Coptic binding, but it incorporates some of the technique of Coptic. I taught myself how to do this watching a video on Instagram. It took me 3 tries to get it because I missed one of the steps in it, and I had to rip it out a couple times because I missed one step on one thing, and then I missed another step on something else of it, and I was like, okay, poo, I want this to work. So I must have watched the video like 20 times before it finally dawned on me. And the person who made the video did it in fast mode, so it was like tick, 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 and I could not see that. So I did have to watch it a lot of times, start it over, because, you know, when you watch a video on Instagram, it's not like you can back it up like you do on YouTube. You have to watch the whole video, or it shuts itself off when you try to see if you can adjust it to go back. Nope, not happening. So now I watched it on my PC. On your cell phone, it might be different. I don't know, but I was watching it on the PC. So I have, I don't know how many signatures I have in here. I don't know if I have 8 signatures. That's right. And this was paper that I cut, and then I sewed it in. But the one thing that I did that is different from a Coptic book is I glued the first page of the first signature. I glued the covers onto the first page of the signature and the last page of the last signature. Then I glued the cover, the page onto the cover of the front and the back. So it opens nicely. You don't have to, well, I mean, you might have to hold something down on it to finish it, but you can get to every single page with no problem. It's not like you can't get to pages. Sort of like Coptic sketch book, but I think this is a little more interest on the spine. Let me show you a little bit more. It's 4 holes. That's all it is, 4 holes. Now, she has a version where there are 5 or 7 holes doing almost the same thing as this. It's a little more complicated than this, but I thought, well, I just will start with something simple. So this is it. So these are the books, minus the one that I tore up by accident. These are the books that I had. I was playing around with templates that I bought. And these are the finished books. All the insides are in them, and they're completely done. I'm not doing anything else to them. You know, I could glue this onto here, but this page moves in the 3-hole pamphlet stitch. It's going to be kind of hard to glue this page down. So I think it works a lot better with this than 3-hole pamphlet stitch. I don't think this would work because this page will move back and forth when you open it. So I don't think that's possible for that with that kind of specific stitching. All right, so this is it for my books. I do have one more to show you. I didn't waste anything on this. This was somebody's packaging that I saved because I like the stuff on it, the coloring. So I saved it. And then I used glue and glued down the stuff like I would. I did use creases for a hardback so I could bind it and for the spine. And I have not covered the insides of this because it was just an experiment. So I will probably take some very small chipboard, that thin stuff I was using, and cover it with some kind of paper, and then I can do the inside, probably 3-hole pamphlet stitch with 3 to 5 signatures, or I could cut this off, do away with the spine, and make another one like this one. Just depends. I'm setting it aside because I have other things to move on to. So I hope everybody had a good holiday, and in the next day or so is New Year's Eve, and I want to wish you all a Happy New Year and happy crafting. See you in the new year. Bye.